Aloy, the bypass is done.
That looks fancy.
The core is stable. Hephaestus is 100% contained. Now we better get started with the merge. It's all set up. Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
Okay, now this actually has to work.
Okay, to complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
I'm glad they didn't turn that into a mini-game.
Aloy! Look!
There's the Zenith.
Well, hello, redundant copy. You've cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're at it.
Ooh! Get behind me.
Come on! Quit screwing around.
Now we're having fun, right?
Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport. Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her!
No, I can't even see her.
Beta. Varl. Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
All right. That was interesting. Okay, but I was right. There would have to be a zenith. They would have to find out at some
Why
point.
did Tilda bring me here?
I guess
What was
she's...
all this for? Some kind of survival bunker?
Maybe this is Elysium? I mean, if the Zeniths try to get everyone killed, then maybe they also caused the contact loss.
What is this?
Oh,
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain.
I'm not sure whether the music is setting a good mood or whether it's royally annoying.
My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn.
So that's maybe Tilda was in love with Elizabeth, but not the other way around.
This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits. portrait of the painter Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world. The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
Guess that's all. Guess that's a music player or something, because the music seems to be coming from there. Let me get a mirror for you two. Now you can look for a secret message in the paintings. But what secret message in the paintings? I have to say, if any of you spots one, let me know.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's Lidded Ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
A lot of weight on his shoulders. I know the feeling.
Oh, no commentary. I think that's basically... basically, that's the only piece of art in this whole collection that means anything to Aloy, huh? And by the way, hi, Days, or however you pronounce that. And Room 215, thanks for the stretch. Oh. Alright, let's see what this last one is.
She's pulling out her own hair. Out of madness, out of grief. It's hard to watch her suffer.
And again, that's Aloy and that's Elizabeth. Trying to help people, trying to end suffering. Trying to make things right again. trying to save nature, then trying to save the entire planet. So basically, everything up front here is probably Tilda. And those back here... those are kind of the only ones Aloy can kind of understand. Or at least, you know,
Done so soon?
feels for.
I've got more important things to worry about.
We both do. There is much we are trying to save. Not the least of which is in that vault. There's nothing wrong with savoring such treasures for a moment more. Or come upstairs and we'll get down to business. Your choice.
I wonder... I'm kind of expecting there to be anything else, but on the other hand, I'm glad they didn't put like loot or collectibles in here. Because I think that would have kind of... I don't know, cheapened things. But are these things we cannot examine? Okay. I get what Tilda is doing. You know, that she saved these things. But I think it also... I think that's why her and Elizabeth probably don't get along. Because I think she sort of has her priorities wrong. Like, yes, all of this is important, but I think she makes it more important at the moment than it is. Like, at the end, you know, yes, art and creativity and all of that is important, but if, you know, the greatest painting is not worth killing someone over. You know, because that's a person, and this is still just an object. Maybe the best of the objects, but just an object. But I think also Aloy is, you know, like Aloy is too concerned with function. And we've seen that a number of times. So she should, you know, like Aloy doesn't rest, doesn't relax really. There's more art here. So, yes, this is a lesson that Aloy should learn someday. But maybe not right now. Although, you know, how long does Tilda have to speak with her? That's the question.
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen.
Incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back, and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Regala and her rebels.
Even now, she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
But that's not how Aloy works. And that's, not what Elizabeth would want. You don't just want to throw people, at them if you can avoid it.
My old focus. How did you find it, let alone repair it?
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way. Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it and watched its contents, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful?
If you like.
I wonder, they all have these metallic things up to their neck. And so the question is that clothing? Or is that their body? Is that what's keeping them alive?
So you know all about me. What about you?
What would you like to know?
Well, start with your life on Earth.
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city. Thousands drowned, my parents included. I was one of the few who survived. My guardian sent me to boarding school. Among my peers, I was the strange girl, the orphan to be avoided. All because of circumstances beyond my control.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't let that stop you from getting what you needed. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build a fortune. First, from the technical analysis of art and the detection of forgeries. Profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely valuable intelligence on my own.
You were a spy?
More like a service one could turn to for information. I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity, Far Zenith inevitably sought me out.
What happened when Far Zenith approached you?
They painted an irresistible vision of humanity's future. One where we need not fear illness or death, where we explored the furthest reaches of the stars and thrived. It was only later that I realized that They only intended to bequeath this future to the rich and powerful. By the time I finally figured it out, the walls were closing in, Pharaoh's machines were devouring the Earth. So I accepted Far Zenith's invitation to a berth on the Odyssey. I wanted Liz to come, but she had nobler plans, as you well know.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were, certainly. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I understood the true scope of their greed. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines serviced their every need, where any memory or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. It was stultifying, a pampered dream state. As the decades passed, I withdrew more and more, alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now, finally, having met you, I feel like I have a second chance.
To do what?
Help you, of course. To fulfill Liz's dream, which isn't so different from Far Zenith's original vision. A better future for humanity.
You said Beta's not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be, but her life is not in danger. She's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel, a virtual place where we could speak in peace.
So this channel you shared with Beta, none of the other Zeniths ever found out about it.
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that I would outwit him. The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away from their mistrustful eyes. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes, though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
Well, she felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount to me.
She's a hard person to trust. Like, you can tell that there's something wrong about her motivations somewhere, or about her ethics, I think. But on the other hand, she's saying all the right things and all the things you basically thought. But, it still seems... Yeah, like... Yeah, it's just like something about her is slightly off. I don't know if that's intentional, or if it's just like supposed to be slowly growing, and that's why they don't come with the convincing arguments right away, and they maybe want you to be a bit mistrustful of her. So that's not really the issue. But, I mean, it can also just be that, like, she's been alive for 1,000 years. And of those, maybe, 50 years, she's been on Earth as a regular human. So she basically has 1,000 years of trauma, of being suspicious of the people around her, of possibly regretting that she went on this, and maybe even, finding her own, like, just arranging herself with how that world that they were on was. And so she's probably only now kind of thawing from that state back into a normal human. So maybe that's, why she seems a bit off. If she ever was, it could be that she was kind of, there are people who can love other people and be kind to other people, to certain other people. But the rest of the world, they don't care at all. And I mean, that's, to a certain degree, is natural. People you care about more, or they affect you more than people somewhere like second string behind those that you might not even ever have met. It's easier, to say someone who killed someone should be killed as well than looking a killer in the eye and taking their life, being their executioner, for instance. Like, these are, as soon as someone becomes a person in front of you, empathy works much better. And so it could be that she's kind of, that aspect is in her as well, that she's obviously not Elizabeth, but she seems to care about Elizabeth in some way.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but for the art stored below. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new home. The physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality, gone. To think of what we could have done with it. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course for Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me. Gerard. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta and Gaia.
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
How do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of his dealings. The distribution of override technology, the arming of Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
I'm really curious, about that. Did Silence find something? Oh. Did he maybe get that from, what's his name? The other, not Hephaestus, but the other, Hades. I mean, they must have had shields in the war, right? Already. I mean, we've seen, the shield that Aloy uses as a glider, and that she got from some of Silence's people. So maybe that technology was used, was circumvented by the machines during the war, and Silence got a hold of that information.
Regala's only interested in killing Hikaru and waging war on the Karja. What does she have to gain by attacking Zenith?
It's the price she must pay for her war. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished in the desert.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus. Machines to help her overthrow Hikaru.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually survive such a battle. And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus really answer to. Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he underestimates you. That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tanakh are cut down outside. So you knew Elizabeth? What was she like?
Liz was everything she was. I see in you. And more. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what? Distant? Aloof?
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning, a touchy subject in those days, because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step, an AI-driven system that wouldn't just act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life. Not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned my approach carefully.
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth after her talk?
I picked the right moment. The morning of the next day, right as she came back to the conference, she had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the onslaught of colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it wasn't, but she was very welcoming. Almost as if we were previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized she knew exactly who I was. It was quite a shock to me. My business was trafficking in secrets, and I took great pains to protect my anonymity. So that was Liz, perpetually one step ahead. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling. First Varl. Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it.
That's what's wrong with her. You know, like she says, well, some people sometimes have to die, but not me.
What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise, okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Then I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Silent's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Silent's only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenakt. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring Silence to the table.
Not if. When. Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
You just shot. She has a nose and posture like a young Trinity. But that's actually Carrie-Anne Moss. Oh, it is. She's amazing in... Like, she's in Mass Effect as one character. And that character doesn't really look anything like her. And you just go and watch her and think, wow, that's such a...
I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
Yeah, so she's really good at seeming different. Like, you know, just like you hear the voice and you'd think you'd recognize that voice. And it's... Yeah, but somehow like, yeah, she's really good at that. At seeming, at you know, at really acting and seeming like a different person. Which, you know, you'd expect that from an actress, but like, there are actors where it's just like, you notice always it's them, but they're fulfilling the function in the plot. It's all fine and well and skillfully done and everything. But like, I don't know, she's not one step above that. If the directors let her, which I think seems to be a big problem with many. Like, I'm assuming that it's the directors because it's kind of their job to get the right reactions out of their actors. But of course, it could just be other general circumstances of the acting or something. Okay, Aloy. All FAS BOR 7 Horus combat platforms. So interesting, the Horus in that picture looked way larger than the Corruptors, so maybe that's not the same, which, you know, kind of explains, like, the Corruptors. Oh, right, yeah. I think if I remember Zero Dawn correctly, the Corruptors were basically just the ones that could take other machines and take them over. I don't know what they were called instead of Horus. And I guess the Horus are the ones that would be really bad if they came back, because they probably... Horus was the factory? Yeah, I'm thinking, like, it's... I guess the Horus is the one that has the biomatter conversion, right? So that's, like, the bad one, if that ever came back. Like, all the others you can kind of deal with. But with the biomatter conversion, then we might have the exact same problem again that, you know, made Zero Dawn necessary. The bigger issue is activating. Barring extraordinary circumstances, such as interference from Hades, as you experienced last year, all Horus munitions are inert, deactivated by Minerva's decryption regime during the 21st and 22nd centuries. To render these EMPs operational, we will have to skirt those efforts. I've devised a way to do so without causing unwanted repercussions. A bespoke code signal that should enable all and only such devices in the vicinity. I've transferred it to your focus. All you have to do now is send it out. A Zero Dawn communications relay should do the trick. I believe you refer to them as tallnecks. I've chosen one for you that is centrally located, now marked in your HUD. Simply override it as you would normally, and my signal will automatically transmit. Every EMP on every Horus within 500 kilometer radius should come online. All of them had bioconversion. Ah, okay. I thought it was like that, like certain machines had certain purposes. But maybe I misremember, yeah. I'm assuming you're right. Onto acquisition and deployment. Horus units manufactured EMPs in their fabrication base, then subsequently loaded them. Sorry. Then subsequently loaded them onto their multi-purpose appendages, or tentacles if you like. Because the cells were designed to be detachable, enabling them to be fired or thrown at enemy forces, their fittings should be quite light. The only way to attain them will be through the air, but it sounds like you already have that covered. When you reach me, it should come loose with a hearty yank, rust or corrosion notwithstanding. There's no need to prime the cell, as they are designed to trigger on impact. Once you have one, all you need to do is drop it in the target area. I'm sure Regala and her minions will enjoy the experience. All the best, Tilda. Okay. The Wings of the Ten. Oh, this is the Wings of the Ten. It says if I complete that one, then I get... then I can do the bird mission. News item. All the marking of the next big thing. A much ballyhooed acquisition. From an art historian turned technologist, no less. Bleeding edge science and a great narrative to boot. The application was called YCITT after Young Christ in the Temple, a well-known Vermeer forgery. By creating perfect holographic scans of individual layers of a painting and comparing them to a vast library of artistic works, it was able to identify fakes with an unprecedented level of accuracy. But it was clear to Sterling executives that the program's ability to match and identify patterns had broad applications outside of the art world. As a tool for security, counter-surveillance, or digital authentication, it could prove just as revolutionary as it had in its intended role, which is why they were willing to sign a 9-figure agreement for it, blasting news of the deal to every outlet in the tech media. 2 years later, the project collapsed in a chaotic jumble of lawsuits, recriminations, and accusations of sabotage. So what went wrong? Who was responsible? And most importantly, what happened to the underlying technology, which by all accounts was far more powerful than the vaporware label applied by disgraced executives? Oh, okay. So Tilda realized that it was useful for information brokerage and became that information broker, but of course to hide that it was her, she had to make her solution, I guess, look bad. I thought there was a machine out there a moment ago. I guess not. It's a nice place.
Ozma won't do much here.
Oh, there is a watcher here. Well, I think its body hasn't loaded. It's only a watcher head. Okay. I thought that maybe... Oh. And there's the other guy. That's not good. Oh. Whoops! How did I suddenly end up on the other side of the wall? Okay.
Now it's drenched.
Come on. Okay. Got you. Okay. Not really a good spot to fight these. Let's go back into the house. Let's see, where is the other one? Over there, okay. They're both only at half health to start with, that's interesting. Alright. Okay. so close. It's like 1 pixel of health. Okay, now wait for it to explode. Good. And now we can loot that one as well. And now we can back. I'm assuming that I can at least finish the wings of the 10. Whoops. That was the wrong way around. Probably run past another health plant, or at worst we'll just get it from our stash. Oh, there's another one.
Ready for anything now?
Alright. Let's look at the map. Okay. So this is down here. Tilda's mansion. Okay. Horus Titans had Deathbringers and Corruptors. It could even build other horses. Yeah, you don't have to tell me like the mission objectives or something. It's just I was just thinking about what like whether Wings of the 10 is still a longer mission or a shorter mission. I'm just going to assume here that it's just wrapping up this quest line. And that we'll now finally get... Oh, that doesn't look good. That's the museum. And that's a bunch of rebel machines. So I guess that's something we can look forward to. Many machines can be knocked over by shooting these arrows at the legs. Ah. Any resources you collect while your inventory is full will automatically be sent to your stash, which has unlimited capacity. Your stash can be found in all major settlements and shelters. So let's see how long the level takes to load this time. But yeah, I guess we can just... Where's this now? Wow. I was like in pixel from the edge. Well, half a step. Maybe not quite a pixel. Not a little more than a pixel, I mean. But still. Okay. This will not be good. Yep, Zoe does not look happy.
When you're wounded, you have to strike back. Draw blood.
Hey! Can't I get 1 damn minute to mourn my friend?
Regala is going to slaughter my tribe to overthrow Hikaru. The Zeniths have Beta and Gaia. We can't sit around wallowing in our losses.
Kotalo's right. We must fight.
Oh, all right. So what are we gonna do, huh? Take on all of Regala's rebels?
Not to mention the Zeniths. What can we even do? Throw ourselves at their base?
Something like that. So...
After we lost contact with you, we regrouped and went to Gemini. What happened? The recording we found on Varl's focus cut off when that Zenith Eric...
The Zeniths were tracking Hephaestus. When Gaia trapped it in Gemini, they knew where we were. After Varl tried to stop them. They took Beta and Gaia. I only survived because one of the Zeniths turned against the others to save me.
One of them? Well... at least we didn't lose you too. So what do we do now?
We're going to defeat the Zeniths. And get Beta and Gaia back. But first, we're going to stop Regala.
How?
Back in Gemini, Beta gave me a gift. There's something I need to do first to make it work, but it could put an end to the bloodshed.
Word is, Regalla's readying her army for an all-out assault on the Grove. I need to be there.
I know. Go. Stand with Hikaru. And keep an eye on the sky.
Strike true as the 10.
The rest of you, whatever preparations you need to make, upgrades, resupplies, get on it. It won't be long before we take the fight to the Zenith.
We'll be ready, Aloy. And when you're ready, meet me outside the east exit. I'd like to have a word in private.
Even when things are darkest, you're the flame that lights the way forward.
Just tell me one thing. Am I gonna get to smash up a bunch of Zenith bastards?
We all are.
Good.
Before I do anything else, I should check on Zoe. It sounded important.
Alright. Where is the mission objective? Back there. Are we going to plant Varl's seeds now, or what? It kind of sounds like a thing Zoe would do.
Over here, Aloy. We would come out here to tend to the garden. Sometimes I needed fresh air. Other times we would simply sit and watch the sunrise. So when we returned from Gemini, it seemed fitting that he be laid to rest here. Now he can always look out at Plainsong and further east to the Nora sacred lands.
He would have liked that.
He often spoke of his sister, Vala. He said she used to gather her favorite golden blooms and tie them to her spear. Their mother called it useless, but Vala was stubborn.
Yeah, she seemed like that.
It wasn't easy. But I tracked down the flower. Gathered its seeds. As verdant limbs wither, roots rot in snow, still the sea rises, as certain as stone. From death follows new life. So it is with the land. And so it is with us. I'm with child, Aloy. I was going to tell him when he got back from Gemini. Instead, one day, I'll bring our child here. We'll sit among the blooms and watch the sunrise.
I never got to tell him. To thank him. For saving my life, sure, but also for not giving up on me.
He always knew.
Goodbye, Varl. I promise to look after them. I'll try to visit again when I can. But for now, I need to go to the fabrication terminal to install the new override on my spear. Then I'll use it on a sunwing and get ready for an entrance Regala will never forget.
All right.
Keep warm.
So I guess this becomes our new... Like in the previous game we had Frost's Grave. And I guess now we have Varl's. Although I guess she has nothing to say. Yeah. Feel free to remind me to occasionally check and go here. Like in the previous game you could go to Rost's Grave and I forgot that. You could go to Rost's Grave and then Aloy would, you know, like it was in there in her room. Like she would sit at the grave and tell him, oh, I've done this recently. And things like that. Okay, I guess we'll craft the upgrade.
Oh, before I forget, I watered those plants for you.
Oh?
I just know they meant a lot to you, and, well...
Thank you, Aaron.
Thoughtful. Oh, okay. So the little bird that Beta gave Aloy, that was the Gemini override. Okay, I didn't make that connection until now.
Override installed. Now to find a sunwing. I think there are some roosting at the top of the mountain.
And that was foreshadowing because Kotalo mentioned that he picked fights with the Sunwings upstairs.
You look busy.
My studies are a good distraction, especially after Cauldron Gemini. Varl, Beta, Gaia, gone. And that's just the beginning. The Zeniths want to rob us of our future, too.
We won't let that happen.
I just realized there is a problem with motion capturing actors for characters because especially of course with Aloy, where I can pick whatever costume I want her in the game, but also with the others because who knows if, you know, they have the costume finalized by the time they do the motion capture and the voice recording. And so the actors can't really interact with their clothing. You can't just put them in, you know, some similar suit or something. I mean, you can say, okay, they are wearing a headscarf or something, then, you know, for the put-on gesture or something, they can take a piece of fabric or something and do that. But you can't really do that in this case. Like, she looked like she was doing something with her belt, but she wasn't. That was kind of because the actress probably had the instinct to fiddle with, you know, part of her clothing or something, which is a good instinct for an actor. But, of course, if you're wearing a motion capture suit and you don't know what your CGI character will later be wearing, you do not have, like, the belt or something. You cannot pull on an individual buckle or whatever. I mean, it depends, of course. They can, if they know, okay, she will have this bag to carry stuff around or something, then they could just put some bag that is roughly the same size and has motion capture markings on the mocap suit, of course. And then she can interact with that. But it's a difficulty I hadn't thought of before.
How are you holding up?
Varl's loss is heavy on everyone's mind. I didn't know him well, but I can see how much he meant to the others. Zoe and Erend seem to have taken to it the hardest, but I don't quite know what to say to them.
They need time to sort through it.
And what about you? Will time heal your wounds?
I don't know. I try not to think about it.
That does seem to be Aloy's way to deal with certain things.
Seems like everyone's ready to take the fight to the enemy.
Kotallo more than most. If I were this Regala, I wouldn't want to cross him on the battlefield.
Regala still has a lot of machines on her side.
That's where you come in, I suspect.
If my plan works. Anything new around here?
Kotallo showed me the schematics for his new arm. I recall reading about robotic limbs within the Legacy, but I never thought I'd see one in action. Technology like that would be treasured back home. Think of what it could do for injured workers or soldiers. But knowing the Imperial family, they would use it for different purposes. Their own.
Replacing body parts as they grow older. Like the Zeniths.
Exactly.
So, all of the tribes here are new to you?
Yes. I've been studying up on them. The most fascinating one thus far has been the Tenakth. An entire culture based on the holograms of an ancient museum. There's much they've misinterpreted, not unlike the Quen. But still, there's a nobility to what they've become. They're honorable and fearless.
And deadly. Tilda, the Zenith that Beta mentioned, she was the one who rescued me.
Did she say why?
She knew Elizabeth Sobek. Seems to think helping me is honoring her in some way. She was willing to share information on both Silence's plans and the other Zeniths.
But you still don't trust her. Where I come from, the more valuable the knowledge shared, the higher the price extracted. I'd be careful if I were you, Aloy.
I wonder if that's just, you know, lampshading, you know, that they're, you know, that Tilda is a new ally and that they still have to trust them. That she says, I'd be careful. Or if they're, you know, telling me she will betray me, basically, and foreshadowing that one.
What was Leviathan again?
A flood control system back in the Great Delta. It was built by Eileen Sasaki, another of our ancestors. If we can acquire the data on it, we might be able to fix the system back home. Then my sister, my parents, other families, won't have to live in fear of their homes washing away when the long rains come.
Right. And to find it, we need to head back to San Francisco. I should get going. Be ready to go on my signal, okay?
I won't let you down.
I know. And I haven't forgotten about the data on Leviathan. I'll let you know when I make it back to landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
Wrong button.
I thought you were gonna go fight some Tanakh.
I wanted to check in with you first.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just, picking up the pieces like everyone else. I'll be there when you need me.
I never doubted that.
Oh. Good. I'm glad you're back.
So am I. Do you think Zoe will be okay?
I don't think anyone's ever okay after losing the one they love. I can't tell you she's handling it better than I ever did. That keeps the rest of us level-headed.
What's wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah, it hurts a little. Yeah, maybe a lot.
What'd you do?
Well, I tried to arm wrestle with Katalo.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a great idea.
I was just curious to see if that new arm of his was as strong as it looked. Turns out it really is.
Okay, it wasn't even his human arm. He even wanted to try out the machine arm. Okay.
I know you hate waiting, but you'll have to stay back here a little longer.
Well, you go do what you gotta do, but are you okay? It's not just Varl we lost. Beta's gone. I almost lost it when I realized my sister had been taken by Dervahl back in the Sundom.
I'm getting her back. That's all that matters.
Understood.
You gotta go. Okay, thank you for being around. See you tomorrow, I guess. Not this late, though. Just the usual 2 hours in the morning. So, have we been streaming 8 hours now? Jesus, okay. Yeah, I really gotta wrap this up soon.
I need to get going.
You better get there before Katalo tries to take on Regala's entire army by himself. Yeah, do me a favor. Don't go disappearing on us again.
I'll do my best.
Oops. That was a good animation, though, that she reacts to you bumping into her.
Think you can manage things here while I go help Hekarro?
Stopping Regala's war. It'll help us take the fight to the Zeniths?
Yes.
Then I'll make sure the rest of us are ready upon your return.
Okay. How's Aaron doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost both you and Varl. But he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's stubbornness comes in handy sometimes.
Which is interesting. Because when his sister died, he was, like, completely out of it and completely drunk. And Aloy was basically who got him out of it. But maybe that is what helped, you know, that he goes and drinks some and then says, okay, no, Aloy wouldn't want me to revert to what I was when she picked me up back then. Maybe that's it.
We'll be facing Spectre drones soon. Aaron and Katalo have fought them before, so...
Already asked them to run us through some combat drills. Aaron moves like an oaf, but he's good with that hammer.
Moves like an oaf.
I know we both want to make the Zeniths pay for what they've done, but once we infiltrate their base, our priority will be to get Gaia and Beta out of there.
Don't worry. I won't go seeking revenge like some blood-crazed Tanakh. Wherever your arrow strikes, mine will follow.
Let's hope we hit our targets. I need to get going.
Whatever you plan on doing against Regala, you better return to us in one piece.
I'll try.
Hi, River. Nice to have you back. I'm just wrapping up the last bit of conversations. Be a little careful because there was a very significant character development while you were gone, and I think it's good that you weren't there, so you can be surprised by that.
Oh no. I got enough trouble with Catalo, always kicking my
This
ass.
place looks really different in the inside here.
The way my luck's going.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things.
Didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Tilda's the one who rescued me. Same one.
Oh,
Did she?
okay. I think we've done that. Okay.
I gotta go.
Don't
I'll
know
stay
why she
cooped
had
up in
an
here for too
exclamation
long.
mark.
I'll try.
Okay. So, then I guess that's all done. And you're just in time because apparently we're gonna learn to fly now. Yeah, it changes over time, like there's more and more stuff that accumulates.
If the Banuk can survive freezing... Okay, I need to find a sunwing to override. Better head up the mountain.
I guess up this mountain. I don't see any sunwings right now, but who knows? I believe you know what that event was that happened. You fell down a rabbit hole on YouTube and saw a few things you shouldn't have. Oh. Well, okay, as long as I just want to be careful not to spoil you. Is it somewhere over there? Okay, let's see. This looks... Yeah, okay. There's sun wings here. Now we just have to sneak up on one without being spotted.
Good. There's sunwings up here. I'll have to approach them quietly.
Oh, how convenient. They're all facing away from me. And the frontmost one has... That's nice. The frontmost one has even has grass behind him. So it's like an invitation to override them. Just waiting for me, exactly, yeah. Can't spoil me when it comes to this game. You'll love it too much. Okay. I just, you know, like, I mean... In general, you know, spoilers aren't that bad. You know, if a game is good and interesting and the story is told well, then, you know, and especially like the Horizon games, it's not as if they have big plot twists, you know. Most of it is a fairly straightforward story that they tell. But it's just that extra bit of fun when you can just when you haven't seen something. All right.
Got it.
Ooh.
Whoa. This is it! I'm in the air!
Uh-oh. Okay. And yes, I can fly this. Hold X to fly forward. Okay. To perform a barrel roll, tap triangle. Woo.
Whoa. Head rush. Tilda, I'm in the air.
Then you'll want to pick up an energy cell on one of the ancient Horus Titans. But first you must send out a pulse to activate them. I've sent you the necessary software. To deploy it, you'll have to override one of the communication machines you refer to as Tallnecks. There's one in the middle of the desert that should do nicely.
On it.
Okay, so yeah, that's apparently why we couldn't get on that one previously. Oh, he's so cute.
I can see the whole village from up here. Maybe I should check in on it after I've dealt with Regala.
Oh, wow. This is awesome. And I have to say, I think it was in a trailer that Aloy was flying. So, you know, I kind of expected it. But it wasn't, you know, like I expected at least a cutscene. But of course, having actual flying.
There's a Tallneck. Need to get on top of its head.
Tap circle to slow down and hover in place. R1 to ascend, R2 to descend. Okay. Well, the controls are a little... take a little getting used to. And you can press R2 to land when you're close enough. That's cool.
Just gotta override it.
Cool. Okay, that was the most interesting way we ever got to get on a Tallneck.
Okay, Tilda. I've overridden the Tallneck.
Good. And the energy cells are now primed. Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Tap left and right to select the Sunwing call. Ah, okay. If you have an overridden Sunwing, using the Sunwing call will summon it to your current position.
Whoa! I'm gonna have to get used to that.
That's cool. Okay, I like that. The problem is my instinct is to push forward, but it's kind of, you know, these are flight controls, so it's you hold X for forward and pull back to go up or down. Oh wow.
Regala's rebels. Reinforcements maybe. Heading for the Grove. I hope Hikaru and this Noct can hold out a little longer.
That was fun. With your mama talking and you were showing her what I'm playing. Oh, cool. Hi.
There's the
Hi,
energy
River's mom.
right on the Titan's back.
Ah. You can even pick it up out of the air.
Now onto the Grove.
Okay.
Pulse from the Tallneck should have reactivated all the energy cells in the region. I should be able to pick up more from any horse I fly to. It'll be useful, even after I deal with Regala.
Okay, so this is a general game mechanic now. That we can use the bird and drop stuff. Okay. Can't wait to try that out in a less scripted context. She said it was on the news that they're bringing the mammoth back, partially robotic, to graze the land and fix climate change. Really? Okay, that's cool. Someone has been watching this game and got ideas. Yeah. Or maybe they read the same scientific article or something. I mean, that's not uncommon either, you know, that... Oh yeah, it looks like...
Alright, here we go.
Drop the energy cell on... Oop. Cutscene, I guess? Okay, that's the picture we saw in the load screen.
Regala's inside. Hikaru will soon be dead. It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here it goes.
Whoops. No machines anymore.
Is that... It's Aloy! She flies on the wings of the 10. The tide has turned! Push through!
Right, they have that whole Air Force thing going on. A bit sad that we didn't... Like, it's a cool cutscene.
End of the line, Hikaru. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible?
Regala!
There's your answer.
Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me.
Easy to say when you're atop a machine.
Well, that was just to get your attention. I don't need any help to take you down.
Fine. I accept your challenge. And once I'm done with you, I'll get to finish the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
Okay, now we get to play this. So I guess we'll do this.
You're already forgotten! We got blood! We got mine!
You really have to do a lot of dodging here. She doesn't take much damage. Why don't I? Ah. I guess I don't have enough. Jesus.
Don't give up the pain!
That'll keep me on my feet.
I guess we're moving on to the next location. Okay, it's a classic moving boss fight then. Oh, okay, and we get to do put some distance behind us. Oh, okay. Ah, dang it. Where did she go? Oh, she's up there. Okay. I haven't even scanned her yet. Let's see. Weak against fire and plasma, I guess. Okay, we can do plasma. Oh, she has one of those multiple spears. Okay, and moved us to the next location. But that's okay, at least we've scanned her now.
This is where it ends!
Yeah, it is.
Take the honor! Live on as a memory!
Oh, I think I just did, what do they call it? Reload cancel? No, I didn't. Okay, it just cancelled. Reload, it didn't cancel the animation. Where is she?
I will paint this hallowed soil with your blood.
Okay, she's there.
Is this how you give up your life? You think you can defeat me like this? I will carve my...
Okay, I guess that worked.
Here I am again, on my knees before bootlets and cowards. Go ahead, run me through.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her. By our rights, you must decide her fate. I spared her once. It only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
She's dangerous, all right. But maybe that's exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether you live or die.
Okay. Your one-armed sexy man. Yes, Kotalo is here. I love him. He's such a great character. Especially since, you know, they gave him this arm. But here he is. Alright, okay, now we have to decide what we say. You know, I think... You know, like... I'm not sure it makes sense. You know, she had her chance once. So... I'm kind of tempted... You know, like... The instinct is, yeah, we should get rid of her. On the other hand, what I'm thinking is she had a purpose. She was supposed to attack the Zenith, you know, so, and I think that's still her job, you know, she's, basically we're telling her your judgment is to die in combat. We're sending you on a suicide mission. And I think that's why we're so I'm not going with your life ends here. I'm not quite sure that this isn't easy line, what that would do. But I think I'll just go with that. Although, you know, I don't want to be friendly to her.
I'm not here to forgive you for your crimes. But there's another battle ahead. Against an enemy more powerful than anything you can imagine. And I need people. A squad. That's willing to do whatever it takes.
I don't want your mercy.
It's not mercy. The battle I'm talking about will be charging into a nightmare.
A better death than this? Yes. My blood is yours. Your enemies are mine.
Meet us at our stronghold, in the mountains near Plainsong.
You mean to send her alone? Without even an armed guard?
She does not need it.
I will be there. You have my word.
I'll hold you to it.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room.
Oh, they found an
He
Oseram?
surrendered to our guards outside the grove. Claims he has an urgent message for the Outlander who defeated Regala.
So, state it.
It's for her alone. From an interested party.
That's from Silence, or what?
I'm gonna need some privacy.
Clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
I'll see you back at base.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Armor for the battle ahead. May it keep you safe.
Thank you.
you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tenakth for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you've doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong. I don't need a Tenakth army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Aloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Go on.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I agree to that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship. So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong. Time to submit to the inevitable silence and follow the person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late.
Badass Aloy.
Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board, so head to my base.
Impressive. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Now that I can fly, I might want to see what else I can do before I head back.
Alright. That was awesome, and there was a lot of game we got done today. Really enjoyed that. Got sucked into that, playing a lot longer than I originally intended. I guess we can quickly pick up any side quests we have here. And turn in a few more of the black boxes that we found in the meantime. Excuse me.
Is that playback device working properly?
Yes. Thank you for helping to fix it.
I've brought you more of the voices you're collecting.
Another chance to learn about this lost war.
Do 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 do. Oh, which... Do we need any of these right now? Wait,
Let me know when you want to trade for those voices.
Wait a second.
I'll see if the signal leads me to another recording.
Okay, quests. Aaron's jobs. J-Feather. Snapmaw, Sacrum, Clamberjaw, Tail Duster is what I want, which I don't think I have. The others aren't machine parts. Okay. So I don't think we actually have anything that we want from her. And I guess we'll save that for a little while longer.
Join JTF-10 for a covert operation deep within the rainforest.
Wait, this is the other way around.
I heard you got some fresh ink. What'd you do?
So, Aloy, you've added yet another deed to your name, and I'm guessing by the look in your eyes that you're not done yet.
Not quite.
Is there anything we can do? We owe you that much.
After everything you've been through, You're one of the best people to support Hikaru's bid for peace. Not just between the clans, but with the Karja too.
Then I will. You have my word.
And until my last breath, I'll make sure the tribe remembers all that you've done for us.
Okay. I think this is a good point to finish, because I just realized that audio-video sync went completely down the drain. So I don't know whatever happened, I guess, was in the capture device. And yeah. So anyway, well, it's not that bad because it's just at the end of the game. It was just like when I started this conversation, there was a little bit of a crackle. But anyway, I wanted to end soon anyway, so whether I do some of the small quests here, pick those up, or do that next stream, doesn't really matter much. But thank you for being here, for watching, and the Wings of the Ten, yeah. I just saw that in the chat, sorry. Somehow missed that line, yeah.
With everything that's happened,
So yeah,
I feel like I need to do
hopefully see you again tomorrow. We'll have a regular length 2-hour stream only, starting tomorrow again. At 7 AM CEST, Central European Summertime, Daylight Savings Time, or 10 PM to 12 AM PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. So, whatever time you can make sense of. Otherwise, you'll have to find something that calculates between time zones. But, anyway, it was great to see you here. I think I'll just do a quick check if there's someone to raid left that we can send you to. Let's see. Quick look.
Weren't you at the Cool Route?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Gia has started streaming again, so that sounds like a good choice to go raid. You can come along. I know if you don't have time, it's fine. You know, please come along and then leave, so at least it looks like a nice big raid. It's always nice when you're being raided if it's a bigger number, you know. And I mean, maybe, you know, when you're there, if you think she's fun or something, follow and come back another time when you have time.
are renewed. Let us receive their. You up for a game of strike later? I'll see you at training.
Okay, but you should know.
Aloy, that was some trick you pulled. Downing Regala's machines in one
My strength
swoop.
is yours.
Then let's mute the game. Or at least my desktop. And
I saw you training
This is
in the pit the other
Aloy,
day.
the champion of the Tanakh.
see if that raid is working.
Well, if you're ever in need of a sparring
Yes,
partner.
looks like it's going. Okay. Anyway, have a great rest of your Monday, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
So, I've been thinking. I'm going to petition to join the Chief's Guard. There's the Nora warrior everyone's talking about. With everything that's happened, I feel like I need to do more. For the clan.